I didn't make it wide. I thought, I thought he won it by about 3 rounds. But there's someone with such scrappy rounds. Do you know what he was like? He was like a koala bear inside on a eucalyptus tree, wasn't he? That's what he was like.
Do you think Josh struggled with the southpaw thing a bit?
Sorry?
Do you think Josh struggled with the southpaw thing again?
No, I don't think it's the southpaw. He's just. First of all, he wasn't putting combinations together, Galahad, was he? It was all single shots and then walk in and hold, then walk in and hold. That's what he was doing. Josh just couldn't get his distance. He should have been getting his jab off more, which he wasn't able to. He wasn't able to do. But it was quite, it was scrappy at times, because that's the type of guy that you're fighting. I mean, to be quite honest, as a boxing fan, I wouldn't want to see him being a champion, because he's never going to entertain you. Yeah. That was his style. That was all the way through. But you don't win a world title like that. That's not how you win a world title. You want to win title, you've got to go in there and take it off the guy. Not like that.
Josh, though, I mean, that does mean that he can look forward at the bigger.
Well, now we're going to go for a more entertaining, bigger fight. That's what he wants. This thing was always a pain in the backside. We didn't want it. It was forced on us by the IBF, but you had to deal with it. And I knew, we're promoters, so we say, it should be a good fight and that. But it takes 2 to make a good fight. And if one turns up just to, with those tactics, and that's what they were his tactics, then that's what it leads to. You can't let shots go if someone's holding you. You can only let your punches go if you're not holding it. Inside, let your shots go. But you can't if someone's continually holding on to you. Pulling his arm, pulling him in. It's but the most important is to get that fight out of the way. It really was, for us, was something we didn't want. We really didn't want it. And I didn't want to be saying, it's going to be, it's going to be a boring fight or anything like that. I mean, Josh did what he had to do. And he secured the prize, and that's what it's all about.
And now we're sat here in Vegas as well. I guess Josh is going to be wanting to come out and sit here next to you, probably on that exact sofa there, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he will do. I mean, he's desperate to do that. But we've got to see what pans out in the next few weeks. He'll be out again in the autumn, and we've got to get him a unification fight. That's really what we want to do. Carl's announced his date, Carl Frampton, so he's never fight, and he'll probably fight. I think they're going with Valdez after that, and we're going to try and make Santa Cruz.
Well, Santa Cruz with Warrington?
That's the fight we were trying to make, yeah.
And whenabouts do you think that will be?
I'm not saying we've made it, that's what we want to try and make. I want to get it done in the autumn. That's the sort of fight we want. That's what we want for him. He wants big fights. That's it. I mean, he's had 2 fantastic wins. This is a 3rd win. In
Slightly less fantastic.
Well, but styles make fights, as they say.
Can you see how he was already undefeated? If he was just taking
He's
those
always been an
tactics
awkward fighter, and he had that time out for his problems that he had. But he's always been an awkward fighter. He is a typical Ingle gym. They occasionally have fighters like that. Are quite horrible to watch. They're not entertaining. I mean, they've had some very entertaining fighters. Don't get me wrong, but they've had a few fighters who've got that type of style, which doesn't make an entertaining fight.
Where do you reckon he goes from there after being beaten by Josh?
I couldn't give a monkeys where he can go back to Matron and let them put some money up for him. Go back to Sky.
And now you've got to do it all again tonight with Tyson. You've got to sit there for another one.
I don't mind. I don't mind it. It's funny when you're not ringside watching your man fight. You're not there, so and you're listening to that. And it's like a different dimension to what you're used to. And I'm like, well, I don't get it.
When was the last time you watched one of your shows on TV? You must have been at all of them for how long?
God knows, I can't really remember. Maybe we did used to do when we run the pay-per-views on the other channel. We used to do a live show in the UK and one in the States. So we have done it before. That was quite a few years ago.